Third down and 3 to go. Gunderson's the man in motion. Johnson going to take off. Broken tackle. He's at the 10. At the 5. Touchdown, Longmont. An 80-yard drive capped off by a 22-yard touchdown run, and it's 6-0.
Spartans aren't used to seeing that, and that's that big quarterback, about 230, 6 feet 2 inches tall.
Welcome everybody to ISPN.TV. Another new week of high school football in the books and another new CET Sports 4A and 5A top 10 polls have officially been released. Along with Marty Cesario, I'm Brian Ross. Saw some great games here this past week on CET, and certainly there was some shakeup in both Class 4A and Class 5A. Let's take a look at Class 5A. Our latest rankings are out, and well, there's Mullen. Right at the top. They haven't moved one iota all season long. Hey, listen, they're not going to move the rest of the year. They're going to be number one. You got a chance to see them this week, Marty. Your thoughts?
Thickness and sticking with my theme, defense is the deal. You know, you can read the blog on ISPN.TV. My basic point is a lot of great skills players. Amin Moore, you got Williams and that. But pay attention to that defense. They just annihilate people. They suffocate people, just strangle you. It's tough to do anything against that D-line and the two interior linebackers.
Yeah, and Mountain Vista is a pretty good football team too.
Yeah,
I mean, they came into that game at 5-2, but had no shot.
Yeah, they got skills guys. Archuleta got a great back in Jesse Geary, but Anyale, Wood, Martin just were in the backfield before anybody could do anything. And then back there, Connor Healy had a fumble recovery and an interception. They're just too strong on that defensive front, and that kind of allows the offense to just, you know, have some confidence and keep clicking. They're good too, but it's all about that D for Mullen.
Again, you can read about that right down there in our blog section on our website here at ISPN.TV. The rest of the top 10, right, the big matchup from this past week, it was Fairview and Fort Collins. Fairview goes on the road up to French Field. They get the win over Fort Collins, so the Knights stay undefeated as well. And so that's where we get a little bit of a shakeup. Arvada West moves up, Pomona also moves up, and we drop Fort Collins to number 5. So you see it there, 2 undefeated teams, 3 teams with 1 losses, and then you have 6 through 10. They're all 6-2 teams, and you have about 5 or 6 other 6-2 teams, Marty, out there that we didn't get in our top 10. And you look at it, any 6-2 team out there, I think at this point they're interchangeable. They are interchangeable, right. So, you know, yeah, this is our top 10, but, you know, certainly you could have Chaparral in there. Certainly you could have Rocky Mountain in there. You know, TJ's at 6-2. I know they play out of that Central Metro League. Denver East is at 6-2. You just don't know.
You kind of just went with strength of schedule and some of the teams they beat. So Highlands Ranch, I'm kind of keeping an eye on them anyway because they've had big victories. Well, you know, they beat Thunder Ridge and they beat Chaparral, and their only couple of losses are to Ponderosa by 1 and Mountain Vista, who is 5-3. So you got to push them up. Thunder Ridge, we know they got the coaching with Johnson, and you know, and then we kind of got to keep an eye on Chatfield with Stratton out. Still a 6-2 squad, a pretty solid Big 8 team, but something's happening. They just got blasted by Regis.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, their defense is obviously being affected. Kind of wondering what's going on over there.
Yeah, Chatfield loses 35-6 to Regis last week, and so they're without their quarterback. And obviously Danny Spahn with that concussion from last week, and from what we've been told, Danny Spahn will not play the rest of the year for Columbine. That is nearly 100%. He's not going to play again. How is that going to affect those Columbine Rebels? Certainly, you lose a kid like that. It's going to be a little tougher as you head into the playoffs. Only 1 week left of the regular season in Class 5A. All right, let's move from 5A to 4A. There's the look at our latest 4A top 10. 1 through 7. They stay exactly the same. Boy, Greeley West, we saw him here this past week. We had him against Longmont. Marty, I got to tell you, I was impressed. I knew Greeley West was good. Saw him a couple times last year, but they are outstanding. Stephen Bunting, an unbelievable running back. Max Morgan, I don't know if there's a better defender in the state, the number 7 for Greeley West. And then Sean Blackmer gets hurt, and it's a knee injury. Mark Rogie, their head coach, didn't know exactly how severe it was. Is he going to be able to return? I mean, this is a year that we've seen a lot of quarterbacks get hurt. We just mentioned the 2 in the Big 8 and 5A. Kane Coulter was another one that is obviously banged up, and now Sean Blackmer. But Jordan Gomez came in, played outstanding for them. So Greeley West, as you see, they're still top. Pine Creek, Wheat Ridge, Monarch, Heritage, Fountain Fort, Carson, they all stay the same. Then you look at 7 through 10. Durango remains undefeated. There's Loveland. We saw them against Broomfield, and they're really, really good. Montrose, and then Liberty.
Well, you got to put Loveland in, and you might be shocked by that. What happened to Longmont? Well, the Trojans lost to Loveland. You just checked out Loveland. They're awesome. We know they got great coaching. And the 2 losses for Loveland, you're looking at them at 6-2. Their 2 losses to the number 2 team in Class 5A, undefeated Fairview, and the number 1 team, Greeley West, who we were just talking about. So we got to find a way to insert them. The rule is you can't drop out with a victory, so everybody else gets to stay except Longmont, who just took that loss to Greeley West. Something we want to check out this week, the Wheat Ridge Heritage Showdown will occur in the West Metro.
How about that? And neither one of those 2 teams have really been challenged the entire year. Outside of Heritage, they lost in a close game in the season opener to Columbine, but since then they have not been challenged. Wheat Ridge hasn't been challenged at all this year. Niwot, they shut them out 20-0 in the season opener. Yeah. That's the closest anybody has ever come to them. We had them on CET against Dakota Ridge. They annihilated the Eagles. Wheat Ridge and Heritage coming up this week. We're not going to have it on CET, but it's a score we're certainly going to be looking at. We had the game last year. It was a great game. Went right down to the wire. Heritage jumped out early, and Wheat Ridge would come back, and of course that would help propel them on to the state championship. So there you look at our 4A and 5A top 10s. We're getting down to the end of the regular season. 1 week left in 5A, 2 weeks left here in Class 4A. And don't forget, you can find all the high school football coverage for us in the playoffs right here at ISPN.TV and CET Sports. And of course, we will have the 4A and 5A state championship games on CET from Invesco Field. That comes up on December 5th. For Marty Cesario, I'm Brian Roth. Thanks for watching here on ISPN.TV.